We've dusted off a fancy old graphic, one of our favorites, just for Austin Goolsbee, who is our guest this morning. There it is. The economy running into a roadblock. Austin, I want to talk to you this morning as an economist, not as the architect of President Obama's failed economic policies. No, certainly not.
I only talk as an economist, Stuart.
Okay.
I try to filter out this noise that you sometimes send to me and deal only in fact.
Whoa, what a guy. All right. Look, 2% growth last fall, 1% growth over the winter, probably less than 1% growth in the first 3 months of this year. That's a nasty trend. Do you discount entirely the possibility of going into recession this year?
A recession? No, I don't discount it. We've talked about before. I think if you look around the world at what's happening in China, what's happening in Europe, and what's happening in emerging markets, it's like the triple crown of nightmare. I mean, I don't think you can rule out recession in the U.S.
And it doesn't seem like central banks, whether it's Japan, Europe, or the Federal Reserve here, doesn't seem like they've got the answer to this problem, does it?
No, of course they don't have the answer. I mean, we went through the worst financial crisis of our lifetimes, and they cut interest rates from, let's say, 400 basis points to zero. Now they're trying to figure out how to make it negative. If that was going to work, you would have thought that it would already have worked. Now, that said, just because their tools aren't that strong doesn't mean we should abandon the tools and they should start raising the rates. I think that would be a mistake if we get out in front of this, precisely because the economy's not that strong yet.
So if we're not going to get help from the central banks, and I don't see what help they can give us, quite frankly, I want to see help come from the tax policy of our future president. And I
almost thought you were saying you had converted to be a Keynesian, Stuart. Now you want fiscal policy. But I know you're going to say regulatory, lower the tax rates, etc.
Yes, I am. I mean, is there something wrong with lowering individual and corporate tax rates so that you give money back and it gets right into private enterprise and stimulates the great engine of growth? I mean, what's wrong with that?
There's only one thing potentially wrong with that. Overall, it's not wrong. But if by doing so, you choke off the money that you needed to make the investments that are critical to your future growing, then there's something majorly wrong with that. Well, if you say, you know what, let's cut spending on financial aid so people don't get education. We don't have money to spend on scientific research. We don't have money for infrastructure. Then I think you got problems.
What's wrong with cutting individual tax rates immediately and corporate tax rates immediately so you bring money into private enterprise immediately? I understand that you will probably raise the deficit in the very, very short run, but over the long run, you would control it because you get growth in the economy. And growth is the thing that we need more than anything else.
You're sounding dangerously like you're coming back to these tax cuts are going to pay for themselves. Though I like that you admitted that in the short run, you know they would not pay for themselves.
I think Hillary's got a problem. If she goes into this election with more tax and spend, what we've had for 8 years, I think you've got a problem right there, Austin. Are you advising her, by the way?
Not formally, a little bit. Some of the people that used to work for me work for her. Okay. I've definitely said I support her. I think she'll make a good president.
Okay, Austin. Okay. That's a strange way to end it. All right, Austin. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Always a pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.